Right as we get ready.
Hey,
Hello,
Sarah.
everybody.
Hello. Sorry.
Uh,
How are ya?
Good. How are you? I'm trying to keep myself out of this weird ray of sunshine that I've got going on.
You look like an angel.
There you go.
so, how is everybody? Let us know what you're reading. And I am ready for people to cheer me up. And I'm sure Tiffany needs a little cheering up as well. I had a really bad day, and it goes along with cars too.
Oh,
We just got this new, like, used car the other day, and it, like, died on us at the grocery store. And we think it might be the battery. It's $209 per battery.
oh, Storm. I'm so sorry.
And we're not even sure if that's it. My brother's like, well, it sounds like the alternator. Well, that's okay. We get back home. We had a friend bring us home,
Ugh.
and I needed to mow today because it's going to start raining again tomorrow. And I get on the lawnmower, and it doesn't do anything. I look, and the belt is off or something. Well, my dad has a zero turn, so I'm like, I don't really like it. I'll give it a try. So dad's going to mow a little bit and kind of show me, and he's like, and he looks and he's like, looks like the belt or something's off of it too. Like, so it wasn't. So I was getting
Well,
all we have is a push mower left. I'm like, I gotta at least do the front lawn, because I mean it's already getting kind of tall anyway. I
oh
couldn't
my.
get it to go. It jerked back on me. It hit my arm, and I was like, and I was getting frustrated. Dad finally went out there and got it started, so I did that. So I mowed like the front, but I was just so frustrated today. It was like, I'm like, I need the live to cheer me up because usually y'all make me laugh, and so I'm like, it's been kind of a frustrating day.
Oh, that is so
Yeah.
frustrating. I'm so sorry. That's so
And
frustrating when new
what are
car.
you guys reading? What are you reading, Tiffany?
I am reading the same thing I was reading last week because I don't think I've read a single thing over. Yesterday. All I did was wallow, just to let you know. Like I
Oh,
like
that's great. Isn't
crowded because I was like, okay, I can't do it on Memorial Day because I mean, there's bigger stuff than car trouble and Kevin being safe, But like yesterday, I was like,
it?
uh, and so I watched a friend's marathon and basically baked cookies. That's
Yeah.
pretty much my
There
day.
you go.
So I didn't get. So I'm still reading Murder at the Lakeside Library, and I am at 56%.
Nice.
Cool. How about you, Lee?
I'm going to tell you a quick story to just cheer you up and tell you how ridiculous things are here in New Jersey.
All right.
So, as of May 4th, we have a bag ban, which means they cannot give you a plastic bag. So, there was a lady up on our corner because we live on a corner of like a main street and like our side street, and she was selling a plastic bag full of plastic bags for 50 cents. So, that's like the latest thing now is to sell off your old plastic
Oh,
bags.
for
Well,
Pete's
there
sake!
you go.
Yes. So,
Oh, for
A
Pete's sake!
bag band. That's crazy.
yeah, if your building is more than 2,500 feet or you're like a chain, they cannot no longer give you a disposable bag, meaning plastic or paper. You have to buy a bag from them or bring your own bags. So I guess this lady, that's how she was trying to make a little money on the side. She had a stash
Yeah.
of plastic bags. So I believe it was 10 bags, including the one she was giving you for 50 cents.
So this is just for my own peace of mind. I understand the whole concept, but like when you go to the meat department or produce, they have bags there for like meat and stuff like
Those
that.
like produce and like, yeah, like
And
those like
meat
little
bags.
On the roll.
Yeah. I
Mhm.
just making sure because I can't stand like the produce. Well, that would gross me out, but the meat would really like.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
We still have those little bags.
Yeah. I mean, obviously they're not for packing. I just wanted to.
Yes.
Well, that's hilarious.
And the
I
funny
don't
part
know.
is now all the guys, because most guys don't have a bag, a purse, a pocketbook, whatever you want to call it, with them, where you could just go, sure, I got a soda, whatever, I'm going to throw it in my bag. Now they're kind of like out of luck because it's like, what do you do now? So Marcus got one of the like cheap bags. It's like you just fold it up and you shove it in your pocket, and then when you go to Wawa or Quick Check, 7-Eleven, whatever, you just pull it out and there you go. You're ready to go.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
That's crazy. though.
yeah, they're hustling those.
The thing is are people buying her bags?
There was somebody, I did see somebody like walking away with a bag of bags, so I'm sure that they did buy one from her, but she was trying to ask me and I was like, no, I'm good. I've had my own bags anyway, so I'm like, I'm good. Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh.
That's
And I
funny.
have a stash of plastic bags anyway, so
It's hilarious.
Yeah, I have both too. Yeah. Wow. That is something.
and then the book that I'm reading, I am on chapter 27 of The Homewreckers by Mary Kay Andrews.
Ooh, what do you think?
Loving it so far. And for the hottie type character for my readathon is the only prompt I need left to read, and Trey is considered a hottie in that book, so good to go.
That works.
There you go.
That works.
Excellent. Nice job.
So we have had the bag thing
hmm
for about 5 years. The City of Toronto instituted
Oh,
it
wow.
first, and then so we're used to it now, but it still annoys my husband every time because, like, when you're checking out, they ask you how many bags would you like, because you can still buy them.
Mhm.
They're just 5 or 10 cents a piece, right? And
Oh,
Garrett
you
and I
can do
stand there
that.
staring at each other like, I don't know. This is your job. Put them in the bags and then charge us.
It's like, yeah, it's like, how am I supposed to know how many bags I need? It depends on how much you can put in the bag.
I know. And my husband's like an expert, so it's like Tetris, like the way he packs groceries. But we laugh because we use them for cat litter. So really, like, the bags come in handy, so we often get them anyway, but whatever. It's still a pain in the butt. I am reading Butterfly Bayou by Lexi Blake. And when I saw that this was middle grade March, I was like, this is so not a middle grade March book. It looks cute and sweet on the cover. I've never read this author before. I went, well, then we're going there. Okay.
Well, I figured since it's like the end of the month, I would throw in the whole middle grade thing. But
Yeah.
I think I'm the only one reading middle grade.
Good for you.
Oh. I forgot. I did just real quick, Storm. I did just download a romance. I did. Yes. Only One Night, which is by Natasha Madison. It's a hockey romance. It's book 3 or 4 in the series that I haven't read in like a year, but yeah, I mean, it's not like you can't catch up with those, so it'll be fine. But that's my first romance in that long, so I'm
Wow.
actually really excited to get back to it. So, yeah. What are you reading, Storm?
I am going to attempt to finish Egypt's Fire, which is the Curious League of Detectives and Thieves book 1 by Tom Phillips. I'm like 71%, so I'm like, I can do this. I'm only 141 pages away from finishing this one, so those are like the 2 middle grade books that I need to finish before the month is out, if I can. So I have a feeling that I'm just gonna have to finish this up with like the first like couple days in June, because I'm like super close.
Oh yeah, you are really close.
It's like
Nice.
about 6 hours on audio, but I'm like, I have these 2 or this. I have these 2, so it's like I'm just gonna have to do those 2.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, as Hannah says, hi everyone. I'm going to be reading A Woman and Salt by Gabriel Garcia. It's my bonus book for May. Cool.
Nice.
Hey,
Excellent.
James says, hello, reading Final Girls by Riley Sager. How are you liking it, Jane? Are you liking it? Because I DNF'd that one. I didn't like it.
Oh, really? I have it on my TBR for June.
Oh,
I liked it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think she liked it. Yeah,
No.
I got tired
I've
of the
got the
main
Grady,
character.
I always confuse that one. I've got the Grady Hendrix one.
Grady Hendrix.
Oh, that's
I
the
mean,
Final
different one.
Girls Support Group.
Yeah.
That's the one I've got. Okay.
Spoiler alert! I DNF'd that one
she
too.
didn't like that one either. She just doesn't like that trope. She doesn't like the
I
final.
have a
Girls,
feeling.
Don't give it to Storm.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought I would like that trope, and I'm like, you know what? I tried to read 2 books, and I DNF both of them, so evidently I don't like that.
Clearly, it's not for you.
a good indication that might not be your thing.
Right.
Yep.
Which
Hi,
is fine.
hi, Jesse E says hi, Storm and everyone.
Hi, Jesse.
And hi, Zoo. I think that's a zoo, right? A zoo. Something. And good evening, y'all. Rhode Island is basking in so much sun this past 2 or 3 days. Happy to be with everyone here tonight, reading my Japanese detective Kaga Saga. Okay,
Oh,
sounds interesting.
it's good to see you.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. Sounds interesting.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi.
And Jesse says I'm reading Getting Old is a Murder by Rita Link.
That's one of my favorite series of all time. No one ever reads those. Oh, it's an older series. Are you liking it? How far are you into it all, Jesse?
And Jesse says we're under severe thunderstorm and tornadoes. And where are you? Because I know we have nasty stuff coming tomorrow, which is why I wanted to mow my lawn today. And Cav says, hi all, I'm listening to Turn to Me by Becky Wade, contemporary romance with a hint of mystery. Dog rescuing heroine is trying to rehabilitate the bad boy hero using K9 training methods. All right.
Somebody look that one up.
I was going to say, that one sounds kind of interesting. And Cajun, hi everyone. Reading Picture Perfect Frame Tourist Trap number 12. Yay.
Excellent, Cajun.
Almost there. She is getting caught up. I think she's got a couple more to go.
Nice.
And Melmac, hi, says, hi Stormy, hi Tiffany, hi Sarah, hi Lee, hi everyone. I'm reading Whisker of Trouble by Sophie Ryan, number 3. In the Second Chance Cat on page 172 of 319. And, oh no, yes, it's been a day. Susan says, hi all, I'm reading Hitting the Books by Jen McKinley, number 9 in the Library Lover series. Yay! And all that sucks, Storm. Sorry about that. Taylin says, hi all, I'm playing Animal Crossing, but wanted to say hello. Well, hello. Hey, that's being productive, playing games. I do that kind of sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And I should be probably reading. I'm trying to catch up on something I might be playing. And Hannah says, we're supposed to get bad weather tomorrow with very little warning that is coming.
Jeez.
And book lover Jenny, hi, he says, hello everybody. Just started ABC of the Island of Summer Sunset by Susan Sands. Or I said ABC.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got that from, but an art. It's been that day. It's been a day.
For Monday.
Yeah.
And Sherry says, listening to The Black Reckoning by John Stevens. And saying hi. And Nomac says, fingers crossed that the weather doesn't get too bad. Yes. We're thinking that it might not get too bad here, but I do know I saw something around in the plains area up in like maybe Iowa or something. They had severe weather, tornadoes stuff. So.
Yeah.
And Taylor says, a push mower, bless you. I know. And I'm feeling it too. It's like my body wasn't made for bush mowing. And I was mad too, so it was aggressive push mowing.
Oh.
And you've probably got a bigger lawn area, am I correct?
Yes, because we're out in the country. That's why I said I just needed to do like the little front part where our vehicles are and where we walk and where dogs at and all that stuff. I'm like, that's all I'm doing. I'm not too much to do.
Yeah.
But I got 6,000 and some steps in on my Fitbit, probably the most I've gotten since I had my Fitbit.
Wow.
The Fitbit's like, what's happening here?
Right.
Like, what's going on? Hi, Nancy. Says, hi, everyone. Finishing The Skeleton Haunts a House by Lee Perry at 90% now.
Wait.
Excellent.
Mel saying hi. And Hannah says, oh, it's my luck that the day before my birthday we'll have bad weather.
Wait, is your birthday tomorrow? Wednesday? Wait.
It's coming up.
Is
In
his birthday
June.
Wednesday?
It's in June because he's doing that readathon for our birthday. So
Yeah. Thanks, Melmac. Yeah, we're hoping he gets here soon, but it's
and
been a wild weekend.
Elizabeth says, I'm still reading The Odds of Getting Even by Sheila
Nice.
Turner. And Annie says, hi, everyone. I'm reading Time Windows by Catherine Rice. A middle grade mystery. Ooh.
Nice.
Are
Awesome.
you liking it, Annie? Because I like middle grade mystery. And Hannah says, the
Yes.
newest side hustle.
Can I sell you a bag?
Right?
There was all that stuff at the beginning of the pandemic where you were seeing people like
Right?
roll up and it looked like it was like a drug deal, and then they would pass it and they would like open the bag. It'd be a brown bag and you're expecting like drugs and it'd be like hand
Toilet
sanitizer.
paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Toilet
Yeah,
paper.
like a bottle of hand sanitizer or toilet
Right.
paper.
Right.
Yeah.
It says it is my mission to make Stormy and Tiffany laugh at some point during these sprints.
Aw.
All right.
That's nice,
Yay.
Melmac. Thanks.
And Taylor says our bags are 8 cents in Washington State. They are
Wow.
thick, reusable plastic.
See,
Oh,
you don't
okay.
mind paying. You know what I mean? Like,
I wish that they were like, there are like $1.50 each. Like we're not getting these like, well, nothing in Jersey's cheap, but you know what I mean. Like I'd be happy with that.
mm-hmm.
It is what it is. We can't change it. So
The
we'll move
only
on.
place here in where I live that does like plastic bags like that, they don't have bags. You have to bring your own bag, or you're carrying it out like this.
Aldi.
and that's Aldi's.
Oh,
But that's where here you can still get a like 30-cent bag, like, and that's cheap, but
yeah.
whatever.
And most of the time we forget our bags at home, so then we have to pay that. Like, ours is 10 cents for like a smaller one, I think, and I think that's like 20 cents if you want a bigger, like thicker one or something.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have some I keep in the trunk. And so then I will get a box like and unload it, but I keep the bags still in the trunk. So I load it into a box and then carry it in so
That's
that the
smart.
bags stay in the car, because otherwise it will never happen. They will never get put back in the car.
That's the
Mhm.
problem, is putting them back in the car.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My
So
coworker Chris gave a good tip though. He said leave 2 laundry baskets in your car, in your trunk. Just put everything back in the
Yeah.
cart, wheel the cart out, put everything in the laundry basket. It's easier to carry in one trip and bring everything inside in the one trip. You'll have the second one out there, put it in front of your door to annoy you. So then when you go outside, you just grab it and throw it back in your trunk.
That's smart.
That is a good idea, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, all right, that might work.
yeah, that's actually a great idea.
Anita says, hi, I'm reading A Fatal Booking by Victoria Gilbert and Inked Out by Karen McInerney.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And I have went way past my 15-minute mark, so I'm just going to pop it up there right now, and we will read to the top of the hour if that's okay. Everybody?
Sounds great.
All right. So happy reading, everyone.
Happy
Happy reading, everybody.
So how did everybody do?
I did good. I got to 74% from 59. I think I started at 59. It says I'm at 74. I have 2 hours and 8 minutes left. I'm really enjoying it. And then I'm going to start my first romance in forever. And I'm actually really looking forward to it.
Nice.
Yes.
I got to chapter 33 and things are just starting to heat up. So I'm enjoying right now.
Excellent.
I got a chapter read because I also made and ate dinner and then cleaned up after dinner. So, you know.
I ate,
What's
I did
that?
not clean up yet, but
What did you guys have?
I had veggie samosas, rice, and naan bread. And oh my God, they were spicy.
Oh, you made them?
Oh, I love them. They're delicious. But this little
Oh, I
white
love
girl
them. But
has-
did you make them?
No, God, no. Oh, no.
Oh, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I
they're
love
frozen.
anything like that. And I love naan. Oh, yeah. Oh, that sounds delicious.
It was so good, but it was so spicy.
I had nothing exciting. Some homemade keto chicken nuggets, sweet potato fries, and salad.
Yum.
Well, that's good. That sounds good too.
Mm-hmm.
I
They
love
were,
sweet
they
potato
were
fries.
good, but nothing special.
This next sprint, I'm gonna go downstairs and get me something to eat. We brought some brats and some potato salad. You know, that's our whole celebrate the Memorial
Yeah.
Day. Microwave some brats and some potato salad. There we go.
There you go.
Dad
Whatever
already
works.
had his because my brother came over to take him over there to where the car is so that they can work on the car. It can't be this easy. Take the battery out and put the battery in. No, you have to take the wheel off and take the thing out.
Yeah.
Who made these cars?
I know.
Yeah.
It was so much easier with the old cars. You just take the battery out, put the battery in.
They want you to have to go to the dealership or
Yeah.
have to go to a mechanic.
The dealership is no help.
No, they're not.
And when it's a holiday and there's no, because we called the little Hispanic guy that sold us the car, and he's like, I would help, but I'm not there. It's holiday.
Yeah.
Well, come over here and help us anyway, buddy.
We've got salad.
Right?
Right. Yes, I know. Yeah, we did the same thing. We called the dealership here that we got the car from. They're like, and I'm like, are you? Oh God, I feel myself getting hot all over
You're
again.
yourself annoyed.
Every time you think of it, your blood pressure just goes.
Yeah.
You know, I know I tell myself part of it is I'm already like 10% like above being rational because I haven't seen him since December. Like I was trying to talk to the woman and I called the Bradenton and I was like, it's a brand new car. He hasn't had it a year. There has to be an extended warranty because Kevin kept saying at first they were telling him and I was like, there's no possible way. And then it was something completely different. They said they didn't have to give him a rental car until it was diagnosed and they couldn't get him in until Tuesday. That's what, so it was the most messed up situation. But I was like, you don't understand. Like, I know it had nothing to do with her. I felt, and later on I was like, you really do know that I'm actually, when I got myself back in her car, I was like, I'm very, very sorry. And she's like, you're the nicest person that's ever yelled at me. And then she's like, even when you were yelling at me, she's like, you weren't really yelling at me, dear. And she was like, she's like, really? She's like, and I totally understand. And I hope, and I was like, oh my God, this lady probably thinks I'm nuts. I'm gonna end up on oh.
Yeah, and I don't understand why it has to wait till it's diagnosed. If it's not going anywhere, it's not running. Obviously,
Right.
there's something wrong with it.
So the other really crazy part. So it's a 2022 Kia Forte, and the guy walked over to him and said, probably 3 months from now, there's going to be a recall on the Fortes because the 2022 Fortes because they have all been having transmission problems. We've been seeing it a lot, and I'm like,
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Oh, you
Which,
poor thing.
Speaking of all of that, I am going to be doing reading sprints on Wednesday because Kevin is not here. So, but I am going to start them at 6:30 because if that's okay with everybody, if it works, because sometimes I feel so rushed if there's like traffic or anything like that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's good.
Hannah says it sounds like there's a bag deal going on.
There's a lot going on my street at all times.
The bag deal's probably the most innocent of all of them.
You're absolutely
Right.
right. It is. It is.
And Taylor says, Lee, I want to read that book so bad. I'm 6 weeks out from the library. Oh,
Oh.
Well, I hope a lot of people just skip it over and you get it fast.
yeah.
it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Like in my vlog that I just posted yesterday, like, you know how I hate reading out of order, and the Encyclopedia Brown number 4 came in, and I'm like, but the number 3, I need number 3, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead. So I went ahead and listened to it, and I swear the day that I was mentioning it on my vlog, number 3 came in, and I was like, really?
Of course.
It said it had a 2-week wait, but I mean, it's only an hour, like an hour book.
To read it, right?
So, but it was like, it was just funny because it's like, really, if I'd have just waited, I could have done it in order. But it was like, oh.
Oh wow.
And Melmac, I love those haughty type characters.
Yeah, in this book, everybody likes this guy Trey.
So I read that Trey character as, in my head, I was picturing. Did you ever watch Trading Spaces?
Yes,
Ty Pennington.
I knew exactly who
Yeah,
you were talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm like, it's Ty.
Yes. And honestly, I have to say, when they were, so I pictured, oh God, I can't even think of her name. The main character, whatever. I can't think of her name right now.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. My dad's back.
Okay.
I pictured her to be just this very normal girl, but then when they dressed her up for the show, I kind of imagined Daisy Duke. Like that's what they were trying to like
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
And I'm like, so ridiculous. Hattie, right?
Hattie, that's her name. Yeah.
Hattie May.
Yeah.
Hattie May.
That's funny. I like Mary Kay Andrews. I just
Love
feel like sometimes her books are longer than they need to be.
This is a true fact.
Yes.
But I mean, I love her writing, and I just don't like when anybody needs there's just filler to be filler. Like, just wrap it up, you know. I mean, but I enjoy her books a lot.
I do, yeah. They're always that very long. But now, of course, I want to go to Tybee Island for a vacation now because,
Right?
you know,
I want to go stay in that house the way they were describing it. I'm like, oh, except for the whole dead body part. But you know,
well, you know, aside from that part, you know, it was great. Yeah, no, I'm just like, oh man, that'd be great.
but yeah, as I was reading it, I said to my mom, "You're gonna love this." So it's on hold for her right now because I had it on audio from NetGalley, but the problem is that you can't share it.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's got to wait from the library like a sucker.
Do you guys have Audible?
Yeah.
Is it $14.95 right now?
It's always $14.95.
Okay, well sometimes they do specials. Like I got it
Sometimes,
for
yeah.
6 months at $7.95 and I dropped it. So I'm waiting on them to like do another special.
They'll probably send you something. But yeah, no, I transferred from .com to .ca because funnily enough, so like if I was under .com, it was $14.95. In US funds, converted to Canadian was about $20 a month, right? But then audible.ca came out and they're $14.95 Canadian. So I'm like, okay, we'll
Why
just
wouldn't
go
you
with
switch?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just switch.
Nice.
Oh, hello, Elizabeth.
Elizabeth,
Hey there.
how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
Sorry I was running late, but we're actually all four at home and I actually made dinner. I made enchiladas, vegan enchiladas, and about the time you guys were sprinting, I realized everybody's here. We should all just sit down and eat together. So we did.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Really
It-
quick, I'm so sorry. It's storming here, so if I get kicked off, I might lose electricity because it seems to be going pretty good right now.
Okay.
Okay.
You made me look out my window to see if it was getting stormy here. I know we're far enough apart, but still.
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere.
Huh.
I think
Weird.
because it was so hot today, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's almost hurricane season.
Yeah.
Joy, joy.
So Jane said she's finding it interesting, the Final Girls, that Quincy's incredibly immature and has some serious issues.
Yeah.
It was I think it's Xanax and grape soda that got to me. It was like every time you turn around, she was popping a Xanax and drinking grape soda, drinking grape soda, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I can't handle it any longer.
That was like
Seems like a good life choice to me. I don't know.
The grape soda I was okay with.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that.
What was the book?
The weather doesn't get too bad.
The Final Girls by Riley Sager was the book she was reading.
And Cajun.
Yay! I love the Gladdy Gold. Love it.
And Jane says, I'm surprised with her shoplifting that she doesn't try to steal something big like a car or maybe an RV.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay.
Now, Jesse's in Minnesota, so that's where they're having the nasty stuff. Okay.
Okay.
She's on chapter 15. Hi, Debbie says, reading A Dog Called Jack by Ivy Pembroke. I like it.
Nice.
Is that a middle grade book? It sounds kind of like it might be.
Sounds like it might be.
That's okay.
And Jesse says, Melmac, we already lost
Power.
power. I think it's supposed to be a couple weeks ago. Don't want that to happen again. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Iowa has a really big, strong chance of some outbreaks. That's what I thought. And I have a friend that lives there, so I hope they're okay. And Cav says, has anyone read the Tess and Tilly Cozy Mystery Series? There's 3 in 1 book set on Audible. I'm eyeing, but I've never heard of it before. I've never heard it either.
Who's the author?
That's Hannah's birthday's on Wednesday.
Yay!
Oh, I thought she said June 1st.
Yeah, so she just hit it right off the bat there, June 1st.
Yeah, the question, the Tess and Tilly, who is the author? Because sometimes I just don't, especially when the name of the cozy series is a name, it's harder to think about than like the Lakeside Library, or something like that. Kind of jogs your memory rather than just the character name. So,
Elizabeth, A Dog Called Jack is a contemporary romance.
Oh,
About it's a series called Christmas Street.
okay.
And
Aw.
it's immediately now in my cart on Amazon. So
Of course.
There it went. Yeah, it went. Oh, and so Annie says she loves it. It's a 4th time reading time windows. Okay, well, I'm going to have to look that one up myself. And Taven says, we're still new with the bag, started 2021. Nothing hurts more than realizing at the end of your shopping that you forgot all your bags in the car.
yeah, this is true.
You know what I do though? I park my cart somewhere and I go to the car and I get them and I then use them. Or if my kids are with me, I'm like, start putting the stuff on the conveyor belt. I'll be right back. And Katie's always like, Mom, no. I'm like, no. And that's how I train myself really to remember them, because if I don't remember to bring them in, I'm going to go out and get them.
Yeah.
And that's a big pain to do. So,
There you go.
yeah, I heard you guys discussing that earlier about someone selling their bags for 50 cents. If you go on eBay, you got to pay $10 for old Walmart bags, right, Storm?
Oh, for goodness sakes.
That was funny.
Oh.
And Taven says, I started just loading it back in the cart and putting them away in the bags in the car. Yeah, we've done that. We just took the cart out there and loaded the bags up in the car because I'm like, I'm not going in back and getting it and come back. And Annie says, I will miss plastic bags. We put our wet garbage in them before putting in the large trash bag into the can. And we have raccoons, so we need lots of wrapping. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're still using plastic bags here because, we're
I don't think
Missouri is kind of
going
a
to go
rebel.
away.
We don't do masks. We don't do. We're a rebel.
Somebody found it weird that we recycle here. I'm like, wait, you guys don't?
yeah.
Like other places in the United States don't have to recycle? I'm like,
It is hard to find recycling where I grew up in Oklahoma, and it's aggravating. And I said to the guy who picks up trash in my hometown, I said, why is there no place to recycle anything? And he said, because land here is still cheap enough that they don't see the need to yet. So
It's okay. Come here.
I was
That
gonna say
was
the
it.
only thing we recycle here is Walmart bags because Walmart has their little area where you can take your bags
Buddy.
back and recycle.
Yeah.
but you can put other plastic bags in there too. It doesn't have to just be Walmart bags.
But that's the only place we see that we have anything for like
That
recycling.
recycles.
Don't get under
Yes,
the bed.
yes.
Come here.
And Nita says, by the way, I gave the Botanist Guide to Parties and Poisons 3 stars.
Nice.
And
Okay.
Annie says, Cav, I love Tess and Tilly. I've read 6 of them, but not in order. Oh,
But Kev, who is the author? Did she ever say?
I don't know.
Oh,
she might-
Annie said that. Annie said to Kev. Okay. But Annie, who's the author?
Somebody tell us the author.
Somebody tell us who the author is.
And Annie said, Cav
Oh.
said, Annie, thanks. 3 books for 1 credit. It's a good deal. So it's good to know you enjoyed the series.
Kathy Daly.
Oh,
Oh. Okay. So
well, then
it
it's worth
was
it.
true.
You're good to go.
Yeah, you're good to go because I know Lee likes just about everything she's read from her so far. So.
And she does do a lot of those like 3 bundles of the books too. So it's always a good deal.
I've lost Cairo to the bed. He's crawled underneath the bed.
Oh, is it getting kind of spooky?
The thunder. Anytime there's thunder, he crawls underneath the bed. But he goes all the way at the back and in the middle. So
You can't get him out,
there's
even
no
if you.
way to get him out. He's got to come out.
So Storm, how you doing on your book a day project?
I don't know now. I finished a book today. I finished one yesterday, and I finished one today. I read The Activist. It's the Theodore Boone number 4.
Oh, great.
And that one I wasn't thinking I would get done. And if I can finish this one and the one I'm working on, which I never said where I was, and I don't remember. I think I was 81% and stuff into that one. I may be under by just a couple of books, maybe.
Oh yeah, you might be able to make it. So since I'm doing it ×2, I have all these Dr. Seuss books. I finished my 67th book today for the month.
Oh my
Wow.
lord.
But 30 some odd are Dr. Seuss
Dr.
books.
Seuss.
Yeah,
You could,
yeah.
you could
But
read
But-
all of those
And then
in
we
one
ended
day.
up, I didn't think we were going to have enough because there was a couple I have that I didn't know if Emily would be able to read, or that I would want to read to her. So I got a couple extras, but then it ended up that there's probably only like one that we're not going to read. But the one of the ones we read today was hilarious, and I would, believe it or not, I would recommend, if you should read it if you can get a copy of it. This is the first book he ever wrote for adults, and it's hilarious. The 7 Lady Godivas. It's so cute and it's adorable. So
Aw.
you heard it from me, the church lady. It's not scandalous like you might think it would be.
It's not a Sarah book, it's an Elizabeth book.
Even with the little, the
It's
little
really
baby signing
cute.
on the cover.
It's really cute. So I enjoyed it a lot. And I read it to Emily too, because I looked through it and I thought, there's no reason why she can't read this. So we read it together.
Aw, that's awesome.
There was a couple of little slang terms that, when we got to that, I was like, yeah, some people say this, but, this is not really the best thing to say. So we don't say this, that kind of thing. But as far as the pictures, it's fine. So.
Nadine
Anyway.
says, hi everyone, I'm here. I lost track of time making dinner, cilantro bean burgers. I'm starting The Plague of Doves by Luis Edritz. Not a cozy, not middle grade. I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel.
Nice, Nadine. Oh my goodness.
12%, 28%. Oh, Cajun finished her
Oh,
book.
great job.
Excellent, Cajun.
6 chapters. Hi, Jessa. Joined late, ate dinner, and thinking about showering. There you go. That's being productive. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I did all that already. That's why I was late, because I worked in the garage, cleaning in the garage today, and then I was just sweaty and gross. So I had to take a shower, wash my hair. While my hair was drying, I cooked dinner, and then we ate, and now I'm finally here.
Sherry, what is the Black Reckoning? Is that middle grade, or are you reading something different? Because I know she's been reading a lot of middle grade, but she also been reading some other things. 67% on the final girls, so made it farther than I did. I think I like got out about 30% or so. Build.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Ribs, potato salad, and baked beans. Yummy.
That sounds good.
Oh, story. I have the first Jack Reacher book on my TBR. Is it good? I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think I liked book 2 better, but I did like Jack Reacher. The first one is from first person point of view. The second one isn't. So that was kind of weird. But I think that's why I'm not a big fan of first person point of view. I don't mind it, but I like third person better. So it probably depends on how you are with that. And my book said 28 pages. I'm now on 200 of 319.
Great job.
Oh,
Nice,
Dorothy
Matt.
finished her book
That's
too.
awesome.
Yay.
Nice,
Great
Sandy.
job.
Look at that.
Yeah,
All this
rock.
book finishing. And it is 20 after. And so we'll go ahead and do a reading sprint. And I'm going to go downstairs and get me something to eat while we're doing this. See you guys back up at the top of the hour.
Thank you.
And
Happy
I
reading,
don't know
everyone.
what that is for Jane. I don't know what that is for.
40 minutes, Jane.
40 minutes,
Yeah.
Jane. Right. Okay, there we go. Happy reading. So, how did everybody do?
I did good. I'm at 89%, so I probably will finish tonight. Kairu is out from underneath the bed and still very, very shaky, but he is out from under the bed. Huh. Because he's a big, brave boy. He's
And I know you said you may have to leave early, so whenever you need to pop off, you can pop off. And Lee, how'd you do?
I did pretty good. I got 6 chapters done. I'm still enjoying it.
excellent.
I finished 2 chapters, but I'm reading it with my eyeballs, so that takes me a bit longer. But I have 6 chapters left, so I'd like to finish it before the end of the night. It's not what I anticipated. There's sadly domestic abuse in here too, which is kind of difficult to read, but it's still a really good story.
Nice.
What about you, Elizabeth? You're muted.
There. Sorry. I finished 1 chapter and then I had to get up and do a couple things. And then I was letting my phone charge. So I was reading part of the time that the camera was off. But because y'all know my saga, my old computer, the sound is messed up. So I'm on the phone and I got to figure out something different before tomorrow. But anyway, I started another chapter and I'm just like 2 pages from finishing it. So not too bad considering that I spent a good bit of that sprint up running around, putting away the leftovers and giving Emily her medicine and all that stuff. But the chapters are short. It is a middle grade book. So it's fun. It's hilarious. This series is so cute.
Oh.
When you, if you want to read it, it's the Mo and Dale Mysteries by Sheila Turnage. The first one is 3 Times Lucky. And Mo, her name, it's short for Moses because she was found in a Moses basket floating down a river after a hurricane when she was a baby. But she is the funniest character. She is so spunky and so precocious and hilarious. So I love her.
I think Sherry's read that series because it sounds really familiar.
It's really good. This is book 3, and there's 4 altogether. So
Nice.
I got to 85% and ate my lunch or supper, so it's not too bad.
That's great.
And there's Kennedy is here. Says hello. I'm reading Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough,
Hi, Kennedy.
and Nancy is on to Tempting Fate by Nora Roberts.
Nice.
And Sherry says, Jane, I love the Jack Reacher, but be sure, just so you know, that number 1 is the only book in the series told from Jack's point of view. Yes. And it fit that because it was a story about Jack and something with personal for Jack. So it, then the next one, it wasn't quite like that. So it kind of fit that it was first person for that one book and then the rest of them be the other way.
I had to bump it back. It came up like I had it on hold on my overdrive. And then around Amish in April, it came up where I could check it out. And I didn't want to read it then. And I didn't want to read it during middle grade May. So I just took it off. I left it in my wish list, but took it off my holds. So I'll get back to it.
I've been bumping books back and bumping books back. Yeah, I know. I just bumped back the Book of Cold Cases because I wanted to. But I was like, oh. So I bumped it back to the end of like June. So that maybe I'll get to it, but I was like, well, I can't do it at the beginning because I have all these other things. So I'll bump it back. Bump it back. I want to read it, but
give me that option.
I love that option.
yeah.
Yes.
And Sherry says 9 days of school left. Yay!
All right.
Nice. Close.
Yeah. Our
Then
school said
she'll
our
be
county.
reading and reading and reading because she reads a lot during the summer because she has a lot more time. See?
Nice.
Is she a teacher?
Yeah, I think I don't know if she's a teacher, but I know she works, I don't know if it's kindergarten. She works with little people. Jessica says, hello there. I had no idea what I'm reading yet. Okay.
There you go.
And let me tell you, working with those little people is no easy job. You think that would be like the easy? It's like it's harder than high school. I think working with kindergartners.
Yeah.
When I'm subbing, you really couldn't pay me enough now to do a kindergarten class. I've made the mistake of picking up a couple and I was like, oh, no, 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 I can't do this. Give me a high school class any day.
When we had
I
that
do
storm, my
Yeah.
nephew and brother and them came to stay with us, and my nephew's only 4. I think I was telling you guys, and oh my god, by the time he left 24 hours later, I'm like, oh, it's quiet again. God bless his little heart. He's the sweetest little boy, but oh, they have so much energy.
Yeah, yeah.
I every other Sunday or whatever, I work with the 6 and 7-year-olds over in children's church, and some days it's like, oh, that wasn't so bad, and other days it's like, oh my gosh, is it time to go yet? Look at it.
That's like second and third grade, right? First, second, third.
Somewhere around there. It depends, I think, because like 6 years old, I think it depends
Yeah,
when your birthday is, if you're in
Right.
kindergarten or in first
Right.
grade.
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And Cajun says Lee.
I did look that up. Yeah.
Is a real place.
Hmm.
Spend an afternoon there soaking up the atmosphere.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw it's by Atlanta, so I'm like, all right, perfect.
Hey, Mel.
Cajun says, Storm, I'm reading The Sea in Winter, and I'm also leaning towards 3 stars. That's
Maybe
about
because
what
I don't read as much middle grade as you guys, so when I read one, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so good, and you guys tend to read a lot more, so you're more. Does
Well,
that
and I
make sense?
think it also, you like the contemporary setting, like genre, more than I do. And I have read like, I think 3 middle grade contemporaries this month. That's like the most I've ever read in a month. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I've had a pretty good mix. I was just going back to count. I think I've finished 12 middle grade books this month so far.
Wow.
I've got a pretty good range from fantasy, contemporary to historical. So some, and also a good range of time frames. Like I was reading a couple from the 1940s that are Newbery winners. And, the 40s was a tough decade. I mean, because even though they're adults writing the books, I mean, the adults were stressed out because we're in the middle of a war. So the kids' books from that era, some of them are really tough to read. One of the ones I read was historical about a boy in like a 12th century England or something, and that actually turned out to be better. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, and I can only imagine that the guy writing it, or it was actually, I think it was a female that wrote it, she was probably like thinking, just get me out of where we are right now. I need to go back and like in history and just, write about a simpler time, or something. I don't know. It's just interesting to kind of put it all in perspective. And then the other one I read called Miss Hickory, it was just weird. About this little, you think she's a doll, but she kind of was a doll made out of twigs with a hickory nut for a head, and the squirrel is her friend, and she's always worried he's going to steal her head. It was bizarre.
I guess that would be a legit fear if you have a hickory nut for
Yeah.
a
Right? Let's be fair. Let's be fair.
kind of creepy. Kind of creepy.
It was
I read-
bizarre.
I read my first real middle grade this month, which was because I've read some rereads, in middle grade and stuff, but I read Mr. Limoncello's first big game. I loved it.
Nice.
I loved it. But me, like I'm a big kid at heart, so like I really enjoyed the puzzles and all that, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
and the carnival. I was
like
like, it's a carnival. I enjoyed it a lot.
I loved
That
it.
is such a fun series. In fact, I learned about that series because of Middle Grade May. I think Akas and Beth Tyree were reading it, and I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And I heard them talking about it that same month, and I got the audiobook from my library and I read it that same month, and it was so fun. I think I've only read 2. How many are there now? Are there
6,
like
including the
there's
prequel, I think.
Wow.
I need to pick it back up and get back to it. What number
Yeah.
is the one you just read, Tiffany?
I think it was a way later, but it was the prequel to the whole series. So I
Oh.
still thought
It
that
just came
since-
out this year,
Okay.
but it's a prequel for when Mr. Limoncello's younger.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
since I haven't read any of them, I thought I would start with like his younger days, and then
Mhm.
I'll start with book 1.
Yeah, so now she
Cool.
knows why he's like he is when she
Yeah.
reads the other ones, whereas we didn't know that until we
Right.
read the prequels.
Okay. Neat.
Anita says her birthday is on Friday.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Nice.
So we have Hannah on Wednesday, Nita Friday. Nice, nice.
Party, party.
Mhm.
It's actually not raining, just thundering. And Sarah, I might be wrong, but I think you have read it only because I was looking at Goodreads before I checked it out to see if anyone.
So that was the dog named Jack. So I looked it up. I'm like, what the heck is she talking about? I have not read that book. They changed the name of the book, and I own it on Kobo, but I haven't read it yet. It's now called Snowflakes on Christmas Street by Ivy Pembroke.
Oh,
So in case anyone's looking for it, there you go.
they shouldn't do things like that.
I know.
You know what? That
Changing
is
the
my
names.
biggest pet peeve is when they change titles and change covers and
Mhm.
I mean, the covers I can deal with because that's going to happen. But to change the title, what is the point of that?
Right.
right.
And Hannah says they get charged to recycle in Oklahoma. It's more expensive than a trash bill.
Really? Wow.
You pay for
Really?
you pay for
Well,
trash.
And she's in like central Oklahoma, and where I grew up is southeast Oklahoma, so it could vary by county and by area. I'm
So-
sure in the urban areas it's different.
So Lee, like our trash is in with like our sewer, so we pay like sewer, water, and trash together.
Okay.
It's all bundled, but it there's a fee for it in there.
Okay.
That's how we work. I don't know about
Poor guy.
He is out. He is now on the floor shaking, but he is out from underneath the bed. So he's being a brave big boy.
Is it because of thunder? He doesn't like thunder.
Yeah.
Our dog Bob wants to go out and chase the thunder. He doesn't know where the noise is coming from, but he wants to go outside and chase it.
Yes, he wants to go outside too, but he just wants me to prove to him that it's raining.
Oh,
And so I'll open the door and let him see, and then he'll turn around and come back in, and then he doesn't want to go out. But like I have to prove to him.
He's like, you're lying to me, Mama. I know it. You guys
Right.
don't. And Nancy says they have intermittent thunderstorms here in the village too.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's doing here.
Nancy, are you in the villages in Florida?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how
Yeah.
fun. Do you ever go to the library sales that they have? Because I have been to one of those. We should meet up there sometime. I had no idea you lived there. Yeah. I don't know when the next one is. I'll have to check Book Sale Finder and see.
Says Sarah, I have Barnes and Noble coupon and I'm trying to decide what Jane Austen book to get. I'd like to read some classics next year, so I'm gradually adding some to my TBR. I would say Persuasion.
Yeah, everybody says Persuasion's their favorite. I'm reading it in July for Jane Austen July. Rainey and I are going to read it together because then I'm going to read the Sonalia Dev retelling, which I can't remember what the hell the title is of it now. But anyway, Emma was my favorite so far, but that's because I love the movie Clueless. So
Yeah.
Well, I really liked Emma too. And I like the movie from, I think, the 90s that had Jeremy Northam in it as Mr. Knightley. And so he's forever my Mr. Knightley. So no matter what remake they watch, it's not the same. He's mine. But yeah, I like Persuasion, then Pride and Prejudice, I think, then Emma. Then I've only read Mansfield Park once, and I don't really remember. I need to reread it. And I think I read Northanger Abbey a long time ago, and I don't remember it, so I need to reread those two. But Sense and Sensibilities, like I gave it like 3 stars. It's kind of down on the bottom, but I don't know where the other 2 rank yet. So, but I do know those are like my top 3. So I do like Emma too. So. The Black Reckoning is the 3rd and final book in the Books of Beginnings trilogy. Okay. And you read 26 pages and inked out.
Nice.
Nice.
Y'all booking hotels is really hard. I took an entire sprint to book my hotel. Oh no.
Huh.
For sure.
Hi, Snazzy says hi, y'all. Last sprint. Is this the last sprint? I'm reading Mistborn. I have about 5.5 hours left. We'll probably do another one. I think Tiffany will probably bow out, but I don't know how everybody else is. Elizabeth, it's later there for you too, and I know
I'm good.
it's late
Oh,
for
no.
everybody but me. So
9:15.
Yeah.
I don't usually go to bed till 11 or midnight, so it's fine.
Oh my goodness.
she's
I don't
like,
start work until 11 in the morning.
yeah.
You,
gets to
you
go-
should go to bed anytime you want. I
just finished work 2 hours ago, so you know,
No.
like
Right.
So totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally get it. You know, I was
Like,
just,
one of the older guys at Denny's or whatever, he's talking about how he stayed up way past his bedtime. It was 9:30, and I was like, "You need to go to bed," because I'm like 9:30. That's late. But he
Wow.
wakes up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, so I guess it was late.
that was my grandparents. They'd be in bed at like 8 o'clock, but they'd be up at 4 in the morning. But I loved it because they would get up, do their thing, then have breakfast, then nap from like 9 till 10 in the morning.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Nancy says at 25% attempting fate by Nora Roberts, 14% of the Blackberry Pie murders by fluke. She is just flying through them
Yeah.
nice.
and still liking them, Tiffany.
well, that's good.
You got 19%. 86% of Final Girl. She's going to get that finished before.
Oh yeah, she'll have that done.
Over. And says Melmac said
Nice,
38.
Melmac.
Read 38 pages. Now I'm on page 238 to 319. She's getting there.
You're nice, Momac.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See, I thought she did. I love the Mo and Dale series so
Hi,
much.
So cute. Have you read all of them?
Yeah,
I
she
need to try
she's
to
read
finish
them.
this by tomorrow. I forgot how much I need to get to, where I need to get to tonight to get, because like this morning when I got up, I divided how much I had left of the whole book, like, you know, what was going to be my goal for today, and I already forgot how much. So anyway, I want to finish it by tomorrow. By the live stream tomorrow, I want to have it done, since we're not planning to sprint.
Okay, so we're going to sprint to the top of the hour, which I don't know again how much is that for 40 something minutes. I don't know
Yeah,
exactly.
like,
42
43.
minutes.
42 minutes
42.
for Jane. And
I'm going to say goodnight.
Good night.
Bye,
Good night,
Tiffany.
Beth.
I have a video coming up tomorrow. Normally I post on Mondays, but I didn't film yesterday.
It's okay.
So it'll come up tomorrow. And I'll see everybody Wednesday at 6:30.
okay. Bye.
Bye, everyone. It was good to see everybody. Thanks, Storm.
And happy reading, everyone.
Happy reading.
So how did everybody do?
Good. I got up to chapter 42.
Cool.
I got another chapter read. They're long chapters.
I counted pages this time. I read like 35 pages.
Cool. I am at 93%. So
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
So I'll be able to finish that one tonight, and then I'll have the one other one that I need to try to get through to get all the middle grades that I have going, like as of right now.
Awesome. Good job.
So,
Yeah, I was looking at my TBR and I have managed to finish almost everything that I thought I would get done. I have 3 books in print that I had wanted to get to that I haven't. But I finished all the audiobooks that I thought I would get done. And 2 of the ones that I said were possibilities. Oh, and I did listen to Swiss Family Robinson all in one day. I said it was 15 hours. It was like 12 and a half, so it's almost 13. But I didn't even really enjoy it. But I got started on it on Saturday morning and I started listening to it and I kept bumping up the speed till it was like probably 2.5. And because he must have been reading it so slow. And I thought, okay, I'll get to like 25% and I'll just do like 25% a day until I'm done. Well, I got to 25% and I thought, oh, I'll try to get, a third of it done. Well, I'll try to get half of it done. Finally, I was like, I may as well just finish this off today and be done with it.
Really been there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it did take the whole day. So then yesterday I listened to a bunch of short stuff. So.
Oh, nice.
yeah, Mr. Francie said halfway through chapter 19 out of 26 on how to vex a vampire, and it finally got steamy. You said it was supposed to be a steamy read, and he's like, still not steamy. Still not. And Sherry says, I work at an after-school program that is connected to the Watusa school system. I'm not quite sure how you say that. All I knew is she worked with little ones. That's all I knew.
Little people.
Yeah. And Jane says, hi, Mr. Francie. Does your book finally get to be in the Hot Tub Hotties channel? and for everybody else, he has a channel on his Discord, and that's what it's called, Hot Tub Fitness.
Oh, okay.
We've been posting all of our favorite people in there. Hello.
Should I post in there about the 7 Lady Godivas?
There you go. I probably pronounced the name wrong, and I'm sorry, but it says, I've been reading this book called Rose Harbor in Bloom.
I love the
Nice.
Rose Harbor series.
Debbie May Comer, right?
Oh, yeah.
I thought that sounded like...
That's a spin-off series of Cedar Cove.
Cedar Cove, correct. Yeah.
I've read all of those.
And Nancy said good night, so I probably missed her a long time ago. So, and
Yeah,
and
and I
Sherry
have
said
to go
she was
soon,
going
too.
to good night too, and said good night. It says hope the thunderstorms don't keep you awake. Yeah,
I love to sleep with a storm.
I
Oh,
can't
not
sleep.
me.
I used to be like a really heavy deep sleeper whenever I was younger. Mom would try to get me up when there's like tornado warnings out or whatever, and I'm like, just leave me alone. I could sleep through. Now, I mean, I swear the wind blows really hard, and I'm like, what?
Right.
And Mr. Francie says the chapter I'm currently reading, yes, Jane, it should go into the Hot Tub Hotties finally. And then Jane said good night because yeah, it's pretty late where she's at, I think.
Yeah, she's a half an hour ahead of me, so it's 10:30 for her.
Everybody's saying good night. And so Alanya said happy birthday this Friday. And then Aaron jumping in to say hello.
Hello, Erin.
And I said, hi, Aaron. And Nita said, made it to 21% in fatal booking. I'm going to say good night. So good night. And Snazzy says, I'm 71% into Mistborn. I have just under 5 hours left.
Oh my lord, that's a long book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those big old Brandon Sanderson books.
Oh, it's a doorstop. Gotcha. That's
Yes.
all. That's fair.
Yeah. Mr. Francis had made it to chapter 20, less than an hour and a half to have How to Vex a Vampire. All right.
Oh, since Mr. Francis here, one of the things I was going to mention a while ago is I'm almost out of audiobooks that I was thinking about reading, except I still have Alcatraz versus the Evil Librarians, and I was thinking about listening to that tomorrow, and I wondered if he's ever read that series and what he thought of it.
Hmm. And Lanya says, almost done with the book. Yay. Hi, Melissa says, hi, y'all. Just got back from doing a little Memorial Day book shopping at Barnes & Noble. All right.
Priorities.
Yeah. Were they having a sale?
Right?
And Mr. Francis said, yes, Elizabeth, you should post the 7 Lady Godivas in there.
I don't know if you were here, Mr. Francis, when I was talking about it earlier, but it's actually a really cute book. I enjoyed it, and it's not nearly as scandalous as you might be led to believe on the cover.
So Debbie said she shopped at Barnes & Noble's also to use the coupons.
Nice.
So I heard Steve Donahue talking about the Boston Barnes & Noble's is closing. Are all Barnes & Noble's closing, or just that one?
I guess just that one.
The one by me is closing, but that's because the landlord won't renew their lease. He wants to put a Chick-fil-A there.
Oh,
yeah,
that's weird.
I'd rather
Yeah,
Barnes &
priorities.
Noble. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, the only bookstore, like major bookstore that we have anywhere close to where I am is a Books A Million.
And I was thinking, if Barnes & Noble does go out of business, if Books A Million is able to stay afloat, I think it's probably because of Second and Charles, because I think that was a really smart move on their part to, because Books A Million owns Second and Charles, and I think that was brilliant for them to open up a chain of used bookstores and a place to put their seconds, cheap. So I don't know, just my 2 cents. All right, what is he saying? I read book 1. You weren't a fan. Okay. It's written mostly in second person.
Mm.
Sorry, my daughter's in here. I gotta let me go see what she needs and I'll be right back.
I do not like second person POV. I can't do it. The you this and the you that, it drives me crazy. I can't do it.
Makes sense.
And Tammy said a huge number of Barnes & Nobles are closing.
That was a huge deal when I used to go travel to the States because we didn't have that big box type bookstore like you guys had, like that. So it was like a big thing. And then the only thing that we had up here was there was literally a store downtown Toronto called the World's Biggest Bookstore. And it was massive. Like it was like 3 floors and it was like a city block. And it was just such a treat to get to go there. But now we have Chapters Indigo, which is very similar to Barnes & Noble.
I was wondering, I was going to ask you about that, if it was a big store or if it was just a little.
But I still will order from Amazon because they usually have it in stock. And I know that's horrible, big bad Amazon. I get it, but
And Annie says there is one a mile from us that just opened this year. Huh.
Oh, nice.
And then Mr. Francis said Barnes & Nobles can't close until I have my chance to parachute into one.
You and I will meet up at one, Mr. Francie.
There you go.
And Melissa only bought 1 book. What?
I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah, me too.
You mean one bag of books, right,
Right.
Melissa?
There you go. There you
There
go.
was a typo there. I fixed it. You're fine now.
There you go.
What did I miss? Sorry, Emily needed her movie
You missed
restarted.
Mr. Francis saying that Barnes & Nobles can't close until he's had a chance to parachute into one.
Oh.
And Melissa said she only bought 1 book, and we didn't believe it.
Yeah, so I corrected it, meaning only one bag of books.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I'm going to go into a bookstore that sells new stuff, I might be likely to come out with 1 or 2. It's the used books where I tend to go a little crazy.
Me too. We all know.
Oh, and speaking of that, I mentioned, like, it's been almost 2 weeks ago now, but I did film my video because when our library had a book sale, a couple weeks ago, and the ladies filled up 2 mystery boxes for me of Cozy Mysteries. And I filmed it last week, and I put it together last night or night before, and I got to just watch through it and make sure it's good. But I should be uploading that tonight. So
Cool.
it's 2 boxes of Cozy Mysteries, and I had no idea what was in the boxes.
That's fun.
Yeah.
The place that I mention a lot in my videos, Antiquish. It's like it's kind of like an antique / flea market type of place. I was in there one day and I heard them saying something about they had like a telemarketer place that was next door to them, and they decided, I guess, to move out of there and go back up to a bigger city. And they were talking about how, so I guess they're going to be taking that over too. I just wouldn't have thought there would be that big of a demand for setting up a booth and selling your wares, because like I think the cheapest one they had was like $40 a month for a place to put your stuff to sell or whatever. So I just didn't think it would be, but she said they have like a list of people who are wanting to sell. And I was like,
A waiting list. Yeah.
So they're going to expand even bigger. And so then that's going to be like, ooh.
I think though in those situations, oh shoot. Ah, rats. My phone is shut.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
So Cornflower said, I really worry about the one in my town. If it goes, the nearest bookstore from me will be 4 hours.
Oh no. Okay, that's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm-
was just
I'm
watching
maybe.
Elizabeth's video from her April, like her travels. I'm way behind on BookTube. But
Me
like
too.
she stopped at like 87 bookshops every day. I'm like, we have like 2 here. Like 2, you know? I'm so in awe of you guys in the States.
She like planned out her like where she went
Sure,
based on where she could find bookshops.
And I love it.
And it was
I
like, because when she met up with me and everything, she's like, so what do you have around here? And I'm like, we don't got that many here, but there are some in some, places around. But it was actually lucky because I forgot the little cafe that we have in town. I forgot they have free books there. So she picked up a few books there.
I absolutely love that. And, like I was joking last time we were talking about my husband, the bike route as opposed to driving it, that we were looking to see if there were any like bookstores in the area, like if we were going to come down, make it worth our while for a couple days.
Do you guys have in Canada like the free little libraries?
We have a couple of them, but it's not the same. It's not like what you guys have.
We don't have. I think we may have one little free little library. I still haven't looked at it because it looks like it's over by the police station, and I'm like, I don't know, that's sketchy. I don't know if I want to look over there, but don't mind me, Mr. Policeman. I'm just looking in the library.
They probably put it there though, so people can't vandalize it or put
Probably.
stupid things in there.
That's smart.
And Tammy says, and she only reads print books, so yeah, that's. Susan says, I'm halfway through hitting the books, which means I have 3 more books to finish the Library Lover series. You ain't gonna be finished, you're just gonna be caught up.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Because what was it? Is the something in the pendulum or whatever comes
Yeah,
out
that one's coming out.
October or November or something like that.
Mhm.
And Alyssa says, LOL. Well, they do be expensive at
That's
stores
very
and
true.
books, so yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Williams Library.
Hi.
And so Alyssa says, honestly, get more joy out of secondhand shopping. I just had a gift card, so yeah. Twist my arm, yeah.
If I do buy a physical book, and I joked about it going to Amazon, I will look at Amazon, but I will actually go to Walmart first, because if it's a brand new release and if it's a popular release, Walmart will have it for 40% off.
There you go.
So I will usually do that first. And our Harlequins are usually 3 for $15. So I try and do that first.
Yeah, I only go to Barnes and Nobles if I have a gift card from somebody. That's the only time I would go there.
I do have a hard time paying full price for a book. I'm like,
Mhm.
this hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it does. And I think even for really nice semi new books, I like to shop at Book Outlet and get stuff there. Because it's still a little cheaper, and they still got pretty new books, they're not super old. So.
What I try to always justify to myself is like, you're not reading this right now anyway.
Mhm.
So why do you have to have it new?
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
you will find it at the thrift store.
Yeah.
And you give it 6 months, you know? But no, we must have it now because it's pretty.
Yeah. And like a lot of times it's like I'll get like the ebook or see if I can get it at the library first to see if I like it. And then if I like it, it's like, oh, I must have this for my shelves. Then I can go and buy a nice pretty copy of it.
I was looking up a book the other day. I have it on my TBR for June, and the library wanted it was like a 3-week wait. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll support the author. I'll buy the ebook. It was Murder Most Sweet. It's the first in a series. There's a little white dog on the cover. $26 for the ebook. The
Ebook?
ebook.
Wow.
I was like,
Wow.
someone had. All I'm thinking is that was typed incorrectly somewhere.
Right.
It's like contact them. Excuse me, is this correct? 'Cause-
Yeah.
And then when they write back and say yes, and you're like, then you know what you can do with that.
Right. I'll be waiting 3 weeks at the library. That's it.
It's
No problem.
$12.99 here.
That's still expensive for an ebook.
So
I'm
that-
sorry.
yeah. That's crazy. And so Elizabeth's phone died. So
Oh, that's
sorry,
too bad.
Elizabeth. And Snazzy says, I have a free little library in my neighborhood. And my beagle knows to stop by the box when we go walking.
That is a well-trained dog right there.
Yes.
Yes, Melissa, what is that? Because I couldn't pronounce it. Can something. That's where she wants to parachute into or whatever it is, but I don't know where it's at.
Maybe like a Japanese type of store.
Maybe. And Tammy says, I have been using thrift books a lot, though. I don't mind used books. Yeah, that'll work. And Melmac says, Tammy, just about the only format I read are print. I don't care if they're paperback or hardcover. I have a few ebooks, but the vast majority are physical books for me.
Mhm.
And as you said, we have quite a few such libraries around here as well. Some are very artsy.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some of them, and they're just
Yeah.
so well done.
Yeah, ours is not artsy at all. Just like this little box with the door.
Actually, there is one on my drive into work, and it's just a plain, with a little red. But what kills me about it, why I didn't think about it at first, is that it's literally across the street from the library. Like,
That's weird. Usually you put them where there's not a library
no,
near
I
there.
have a lot of books, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have what I want. Let's try over here.
And they probably get books out of there all the time.
Probably.
Yeah, our our little cafe, JJ's. At first, they have two little bookshelves there, and at first it was kind of like the free little library. You take a book, you give a book type of thing. But then I think they got donated a whole bunch of books, and so then they were like, take a book, don't give a book, take a book. Because they had too many books. They didn't know what to do with them. I love thrift books.
Me too, if only the shipping wasn't so expensive.
Mm.
And so Williams Library says that it's a Kinokuniya. It's a Japanese bookstore. Okay.
Awesome. Cool.
And the Melmac says, I feel the exact same way. Gotta have those books in your hand. That's crazy. Probably the price for the ebook.
$26. Damn, will be the best book I've ever read in my life.
Right.
And there you go. At least somebody knew what that word was because I didn't.
Mhm.
And Annie says, we have a library a block away, so I think of it as my storage unit for my books, a storage unit for my books.
Okay, I'm gonna see. Is this working? Is the sound working?
So
Can you hear
far,
me?
so good. Yeah.
Okay, I'm literally holding it together, but I wanted to come back on at least to say goodnight. So, because I had the only link, you said it on Voxer, and I only have Voxer on my phone. So my phone was dead completely, and I had to let it come back to life enough to read the link and then type it into my computer. So, You guys were talking about the Sarah. You were talking about the Little Free Library being across from the library. It's probably because the library probably runs it. They probably put their
No,
discards
it's in
in
front of
there.
somebody's house.
Oh, in front of somebody's house. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
and
wondered
it's
if
like,
maybe it was run by the library.
yeah, no,
Because
no.
okay, because it's kind of trendy here for school librarians to put Little Free Libraries in front of schools, and
Oh,
you
okay.
think, well, the school has a library, so why? But it's for the same reason, I guess. Um, it's open all the time. You can
Sure.
go in and get whenever,
Mhm.
and you don't have to have a library card. So, I don't know. But that's cool that somebody had it in front of their house.
But
We've
somebody's probably a
gotta put one up
reader
in my house.
and wants to pass on their books and hope that they can get some books in that they can read. It's like,
Yeah.
if I lived out and about and not in the country, I would probably do that too, trying to see if I could get me some good books that way.
But
Right?
you can still do it because you add yourself to the map, and then people who have the Little Free Library app would come and find you. Of course, you may not want people coming to your house, but if it's on the world's Little Free Library map, people will find you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like I mean, like with anything, in a town about 30 miles from here, there's this lady who lives on a farm, and she opened a quilt shop in like she built this whole outbuilding by her house, and it's literally in the middle of nowhere, but people Google it and find it, and you have to drive over one of those cattle guards and drive through to get to her house. But it's a thriving quilt shop. People go there all the time, and it's beautiful, and it's out in the country, so people will find
Crazy.
you.
Oh
I
yeah.
know.
So Melissa says it's a huge bookstore in Sydney. It's originally from Japan, but it's got everything. And that's funny because Mr. Francie was like, "What is it?" He's from
And it's in Sydney.
that goes to show you that not every place, even in Australia, maybe he doesn't have one in Melbourne. So
Or maybe there's only one location.
Right.
Still.
What's the
that's
name of
cool.
it? I missed that part of the discussion.
it is Kinyo Kunya or something like that.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Melissa said she wanted to go, yeah.
Okay, cool. I see it now.
Hi, Reezy. Says hi, y'all. Home from work and finally eating dinner. Said I see that y'all's wrapping up, but I wanted to at least say hi.
In fairness, they are 9 hours away, Melbourne and Sydney. So
Yeah. That's why I said, because it's such a big place that,
Yeah.
And William said, this is true. When Borders closed years ago, that place replaced all the stores in Jakarta so that the bookstores did not go away. That's cool.
nice.
And Susan said, yes, another book, The Plot and the Pendulum is coming in October, library lovers. I'm going to work on the Hat Shop series until then. Hey, there you go.
Awesome.
And Mr. Francie says, yes, I realized it is in Sydney.
We don't have them in Melbourne.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
so I just-
that's probably what it was.
I totally just downloaded the Little Free Library app. I didn't realize that they had an app. And I
It's
have a
not
lot
very
of
old.
them. I have a lot of them near me. Like a lot of them.
It's
Awesome.
unless you happen to, because I've passed a few and not even realized that's what they were at first. So I've already passed them. Because sometimes you just don't notice them, or they're in neighborhoods where if you didn't go down those streets, you would never know they're there.
Well, that's it. A lot of these are down by the lake. So it would be really nice if my husband and I went on a Saturday for a walk and
There you
just,
And then you bring a reusable bag and you have something to carry them in.
I'll pick them up from that lady on your street.
Plug in that reusable bag.
Oh, that's funny. One thing about the app, it's fairly new, so it's pretty cool. They just came out with it maybe late last year, early this year, I don't know. But it's not connected with Google Maps, so you can see the map, but you can't follow the app to get there. You have to just write down the address and then put it into your Google Maps to find it, or just if you know where the address is.
Still, it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It is, yeah, it's great.
That's cool. Mr. Francie says we loved Borders in Melbourne, but when it closed, it was replaced by clothing stores. We don't have plenty of
More
those.
clothes.
Gosh. So Lee, do you have anything coming up on your channel?
Tomorrow I have my June TBR coming out. You know, and for somebody who didn't want to have any readathons or any plans, I have some. So
I'm sticking to my guns. I'm really trying. I mean, I've got like a couple of like, series, like little short ones that I could say there's one for Hannah's like readathon, but
That's
I'm
what I
not
did,
officially
yeah.
saying I'm doing it. I'm just, it's there. in case
Yeah.
I do it.
Well, and hers is a challenge. It's not really a readathon. So, you could
Like
still
I have
do
a
that.
couple of books left in the TJ Jensen by Kathy Daly, so I'm like, well, I could use that. And there's only 2 books, so I could use that. And it was on my SAS list, so I was looking through my SAS list, trying to find short ones that I could get through in case I need to do.
yeah, Sarah unfortunately got me to add more to my TBR this one. So I have the
I aim to enable.
Matchbreaker Summer and the Bride for a Day one.
Oh,
Yeah.
that book is so Southern. Like my teeth hurt from like sweet tea. It was that Southern. Like it was. If I didn't know that it had been written in 97 or whenever it was originally written, I would have thought that she was actually mocking, like how Southern. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right,
But you
tell
take
me
it
the
with a
name of it
grain of
again. I
salt.
have to look this up. What's the name
Bride
of it?
for a Day by Carolyn Brown. And there's a
Is it
lot of
steamy?
like,
Is it steamy?
no, actually, there is one scene, but it's behind closed doors.
Okay.
But what I liked about it, and this just goes to show, like, and I'm going to do a whole video on this in a couple of weeks about Christian fiction and sweet romance and the whole thing. Because, like, when this book was originally written, there's a whole big scene where they're going to church and they're Catholic and they're talking about communion and they're talking about, her putting the thing over. But this is a steamy romance novel, but that's just the way it was done back then. There wasn't this hard definition like there is now.
Right.
And not for
You
anything.
can have
I
a
know,
church setting without it being a Christian
right?
clean romance.
Exactly. And there can still be adult content and still
Mhm.
be. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, I found it very interesting and I loved it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
I
check that
definitely
one
know,
out.
and there's definitely a difference between a book that has a church setting as opposed to a book that has Christian content. It's totally different. It can be totally different.
Absolutely.
Well, like Ellery Adams has a series, and it's the Hope Street Church Mysteries.
Hmm.
And it's not a Christian based. I mean,
Right.
some people have it under that or whatever, like, religious or whatever, but it's not really. They meet at a church. They have a Bible group and a study group and everything. But a lot of the stuff that's going around, you wouldn't see in a regular like Christian fiction type of book.
Right.
So I mean, it's just the setting is
Mhm.
there, which is
Right.
different because you don't see that a lot with the cozy mysteries. That's just the setting.
No. And I mean, this all came like, this really got me thinking about it when I read that Amy Clipston book, because it was labeled as Christian fiction and it wasn't, but she's written Christian fiction. So I get it.
Label
But
her.
just because the story has no adult content doesn't make it Christian fiction.
Correct.
Like, they need to have a faith element. Like, the characters are usually in those kind of books, Elizabeth, correct me if I'm wrong, they're usually struggling with their faith for some
Mhm.
reason.
Hmm.
And that's usually a hallmark of inspirational books.
Yeah. Well, and usually for me to consider something is Christian fiction, there needs to be some kind of a faith element, or there needs to be like one of the characters is maybe making a decision about whether to follow
Exactly.
God or not, that kind of thing.
There's a faith struggle in there as well.
Yeah.
Not just that the story's clean, because I'm noticing that more and more and more lately, that on the Harlequin heartwarming books, which are not faith-based, are being labeled as Christian fiction. No, they're not. And I
Right.
don't want people to be like in not wanting to read them for that reason, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, not like I can change anything by doing a video on YouTube or whatever.
But no, it's informative.
But it's still an interesting video to do that
Yeah.
other people
Mhm.
probably haven't done. So.
Mhm.
And Snazzy says, I downloaded the little library app, and there's a get directions button that connected to my map, so I can get
Oh.
turn-by-turn directions.
Oh,
Oh,
awesome.
good. Oh, I did not know that you could do that. That's great.
And yes, Jess, that was the last one. And says, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's not near you, Mr. Fancy." And Mr. Fancy says, "I don't see why there's anything wrong with booktubers talking about faith-based books. I mean,
I
there's
agree.
books, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's okay."
I talk about them all the time.
Mhm.
Yep. And Annie says, "I read one of the Hope Street series. The MC had an occupation you don't usually see. Yes, a copy machine repair tech. And I liked seeing the unique job for a change. Yeah, it is a unique job that she has."
Do they actually have people that work on those? I seem to recall, and long ago when I worked in an office, I always was stuck fixing it myself.
I was just going to say, I'm a copy machine repair tech. Yes.
It would have to get really bad for us to call in somebody.
Well, when she wrote these, maybe there was a bigger demand for them. I don't
I
know.
don't know. This is back in the 80s.
Perhaps.
Maybe they're more
Perhaps.
complicated now. I'm thinking back to 1989.
And Sarah, do you have anything coming out on your channel?
TBRs. This is the week of the TBR. So tomorrow my regular TBR is coming out, and then on Thursday I'm doing my events for June. The Read Your E-Reader challenge, and oh God, June on the Range,
Yeah.
where I read all the cowboy romance. to
Where
piss off
she goes
Susan.
outlaw for
Criminale
Steve's
and-
June on the Range.
I'm going to be really interested, though, in seeing people's TBRs for this, because I just watched the Bookish Bryant's. Like,
And
I
he
really
had 2
don't know.
entries.
yeah. Yeah, because he even said, he's like, oh, these are Western romance. And I was like, oh,
Mhm.
look at this. But, like, I feel like, no, I really wouldn't. Like, unless it said, like, the cowboy something, I would really not even have any idea what these books would be. So I'm interested to see people's TBR.
I do have a Western horror.
He did
Oh,
mention
that's
Western horror,
interesting.
too. Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah. Jodie Thomas writes a lot of cowboy
does.
romances, so that would be a good one too.
I was going to do my TBR today, but then today just didn't happen the way I wanted it to.
No.
So it was like, ugh.
Well, I actually did my TBR already, and it's been posted for a couple of days, so I'm excited about that. With my #just June, and Donna from Studio in the Library, she was like, "You've got quite a list there for someone who's not doing readathons." But I mean, it doesn't mean I have to do. I don't have to read all those things. I'm really just pulling back and taking the pressure off. The things I will do are my read-alongs and book club. But other than that, and I need to finish. Well, I guess that really counts as a read-along. My read-along fail of Pillars of the Earth, which we started back in January, and I've still only read like 200 pages. But it didn't fit with March Mystery Madness. It didn't fit with Amish in April. It didn't fit with Middle Grade May. So I've just been I just keep bumping it back. So I got to get back to that.
Yeah,
And
that's my problem with a lot of
spin.
things.
What's that?
That's my problem with a lot of things. That's why I was like, I need to just read what I want to read in June.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to enjoy it, and I'm not going to worry about quantity. I'm just going to, just enjoy it. And then if there's days when I just feel like watching YouTube or a podcast or something, I'm not going to think, no, I have these audiobooks I got to finish. I'm just going to.
Well, it's like I want to watch Stranger Things. I watched like an episode and a half, and I
Yeah.
told him that I said I have to wait until June 1st because I need to finish my middle grade.
My husband and my daughter Katie have been watching that. So I've watched one episode back when it first came out. I need to go back and catch up, but too many things to do.
I haven't seen any little free libraries near me, but I thought I found one, but it was a blessing box. I didn't get a chance to take it out.
I
Oh,
see
that's
a lot
cute.
of those too. Yeah, I see those a lot.
Good night, Snazzy.
Good night.
And Elizabeth, do you have anything coming up on your?
Tomorrow night, and you guys will be involved. All the hosts of Middle Grade May, which will be Storm and Lee, and also Elizabeth Tyree. We're doing we're going to try to keep it to an hour, just to wrap up tomorrow night for Middle Grade May. and that will be at 7 p.m. On my channel, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Right? Is that what we said? No, not 7, 6.
6. Yeah. 6
No,
or
it's 6
6:30.
for you. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I can't even
It's 6
remember
for
now.
me and 7 for you guys.
Okay, that's right, because Lee needed to be off by 8. So,
Time
yeah.
zones are fun.
Right?
Oh my goodness. So yeah, it's just going to be a fun little chat about what we've been reading and all of that. So I'm also going to be, I hopefully tonight I will get my mystery box uploaded. And by the way, Sarah, I wanted to give you credit for just giving me that idea to go ahead and do a haul video before I looked in the box to see what it was, because you were telling me that a lot of people do like romance mystery boxes and stuff. And I actually got 3 bags of romance category romances that, like, at the end of the sale, they were getting ready to just ship everything off and donate it. And so they had already boxed up the mysteries for me. So I just grabbed all the romances and I didn't even look at them. I just stuffed them all in bags and brought those
I'm
home
gonna
too.
drive to Elizabeth's house and just be like loaded up. Let's just
So I don't know if I'll do a whole separate video on that. So far, all I filmed is the mysteries, and then I need to do a haul video of the stuff I actually picked out to buy, and then it's almost time to start doing wrap ups. So Emily and I will probably do a video of all the 35 Dr. Seuss books that we read, or maybe even more than that by this point, and then I'll do a wrap up of all the other stuff, non Dr. Seuss books. So yeah, all that's coming.
It's like, where did March go?
May.
not
It's not March. I mean,
Where did
May.
go?
I know.
There you go. Where did May go? It's like
Well,
I know.
honestly,
all
it
the
feels
months
like
every time.
it's been going by slow enough for me to get a lot of books read. So I don't know. I feel like it hasn't flown by like sometimes.
I feel like it. I think I'm at the beginning of the month, and then before you know it, it's the 15th, and I'm like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
The only long period of time is waiting from one paycheck to another. That's just how
Right.
I count time at this point.
So Melissa is reading a Western frontier romance from Laverle.
Laverle
Oh,
Spencer.
which one is it? I've got a couple of Laverle Spencer books, but I don't think I have a Western one. Lori Copeland has a bunch of Christian Westerns. I love like the 1880s time frame, Wild West, Mail Order Bride, that kind of thing. I love that.
I think I started that one, Mr. Francie, and I didn't put it down because I wasn't liking it. I think I put it down because I picked up something else.
I've heard of it, but I haven't read it. So
I have not.
And then Breezy was wanting to know if it was Valves that she was talking about, the Western.
I think that's one of her most famous.
Okay. I have yet to read one. My mom used to read Laverle Spencer, and I've got 1 or 2 on my shelf, and I need to get around to reading
She
one.
got to start writing category romance for Harlequin.
Did she really?
She did. She wrote for the Temptation line.
Oh,
I have her very first book.
really?
I've read 2 of her books this year. I read Years and Morning Glory, and I really enjoyed both of them. I still think, as of right now, I think Years is probably my favorite book of the year so far still. So
Nice.
Wow. Awesome.
okay, so we'll go ahead and wrap things up. I'm sure the ones that are later than me probably want to go to bed.
Well, I need to get my video uploaded.
And that too. So
Yeah.
So thanks for hanging out with me. And don't forget, tomorrow we'll be on Elizabeth's channel talking about middle grade May.
I shall be in the comments.
All right. Good deal.
See you guys tomorrow.
See
Thanks,
ya.
guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.